Saturday, March 26, 2011, an estimated 500,000 people marched through central London to protest UK austerity measures, which are expected to lead to the loss of tens of thousands of jobs and major cuts to public services.
We're marching against cuts. We're marching against the £9,000 fee impositions on our students, which is going to leave them with huge amounts of debt. £6 billion has been cut from teaching funding for arts and humanities and social sciences. This is going to lead to job losses in the university sector.
When you look at the job structures, it's people in part-time jobs and people on non-permanent contracts, so mainly women and people of ethnic minority. And we know that they're the most vulnerable to the cuts.
I'm a barrister. My chambers has come here on the demonstration, and we want to highlight the fact that several £100 million worth of cuts that are being made to legal aid will result in large sections of the population not having access to justice.
In the social sector, I was going to train to be a social worker, and I looked into it, and they've cut the funding to be training.
We do EAL, which is English as Additional Language, and we have teachers from different schools come over, and that's one of the ways that will be cut.
They're slaughtering our public services, our hospitals, our schools, our town halls, our libraries, our universities. That's why we're joining with other public sector workers to fight against these cuts, kick out the Tory Lib Dem government.
A lot of people have arrived here to find out there are a lot of other people suffering from other cuts, and so everybody is uniting together a lot more.
Throughout the day, people marched, took direct action against banks, and organised temporary occupation.
Bankers, they're the one who some say caused the state that we're in now. I don't see them marching or complaining because they're fine. We bailed them out £1 trillion and they sit at home probably or in a villa somewhere in sunny Spain. And we're in a cold campaigning for what we believe in, and we bailed them out.
At 4 p.m, hundreds of activists from UK Uncut, an anti-cuts direct action group, occupied Fortnum & Mason, an upscale food store linked to a £14 million tax dodge. Influenced by the Egyptian Revolution and the events that occurred within Cairo's Tahrir Square, activists occupied Trafalgar Square with the intent to hold it. They set up tents, made music, and started bonfires to stay warm.
I think often there's sort of the perception that we are supposed to teach people something in the Middle East, but I think we've really been learning that standing up to politicians, to governments, and going out on the streets can make a difference.
At Trafalgar Square and Piccadilly Circus, protests carried on into the evening. In total, 211 people were arrested on the day, and police say they will be using video surveillance to make more arrests in the weeks to come. The government intends to push through the proposed cuts starting as early as April, ignoring the growing public anger across the United Kingdom.
It's not like we're not working and not trying, but if you're not given the proper education that you deserve and you can't afford an education, it's like, why bother if you're just going to start at the bottom and end up at the bottom?
There's a big change in British politics coming up. We're combining the energy and creativity of the student movement with some of the muscle of the trade union movement.
And I think that a major benefit will be to show everybody that they're not alone and that by getting together we can do something about it.